think every husband along the way learns this. Happy wife, happy life. Some just don't learn it quick enough, though. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
So there's this post that was going around on social media where I guess a mom had left the baby at home just with the dad. The baby was small, like a year old or whatever. Well, she kept getting calls and he would say, okay, where are the wipes? And what do I do in this situation? And so on and so on. And she was frustrated. And I guess she let him have it a little bit of, why do you have to call me every single time that you're with our child to answer these questions? And so he messed with her like husbands do, just a little bit. And he took pictures, photoshopped the baby like hanging off of a cliff.
No.
Yes. And then walking a high wire with dad over like the Swiss Alps.
Hilarious.
Okay, so I say this to my kids all the time. When you put a pan, I have taught them for years, when you have kids, when you put a pan on the stove, you have to turn the handle in, just in case a baby reaches up and pulls it down. This dad took a picture, photoshopped the baby sitting on the stove, legs basically wrapped around the skillets.
That's crazy.
And would send these to the wife and say, is this okay? Is this okay?
Good for him. When did she catch on that it was not real?
Oh, I think, well, probably the first one. He may have done, I doubt he did the high wire one first. He had to have done something very subtle. There's a picture where he's holding an umbrella out in the pouring rain. He's got the umbrella over his head,
and
but not over the stroller. That may have been the one he started with, like, is this okay? But I know what she's going through. Every time my son or my husband, they cook a meal, where's this pot? Or where's the rice? And I'm like, I thought I had the night off.
I know what's going on in that section. In my mind, when I'm looking for something, I visualize what it looks like. And if I open up the cabinet and I don't see what I have in my head that I'm looking for, I don't see it. And it's right in front of me. And Amy just walks over and goes, it's right here in front of your face. I go, oh, okay, thanks. I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for something different.
Right, but she's trying to enjoy her night off from cooking or whatever. At the same time, I will admit, if I ever have to nail, something, trying to hang a picture or something, where's the hammer? Where's the nail? Which nail should I use?
Okay, come on.
Yeah, so I know I've been there.
Try the toolbox.
His morning crew.
It's gonna happen when your man is looking for something. He's gonna call. He's gonna ask you where it is, even though it's in front of their face. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
But I do it at the same time. If I need to hang a picture, if I need to screw, a bolt in or what, I don't even know. I don't even know the terminology.
Screw a bolt in.
I don't know.
There you go.
This is why I need to ask my husband questions. So I get it, but it can drive you crazy.
No, listen, when Joey is asking for something that's in front of his face, you get aggravated.
Yes.
Right?
Like, where's the skillet? Where's the teriyaki sauce? Where's and Luke does it too.
Well, you don't put it in a normal place.
I do.
No, you don't.
It's under the cabinet.
They're looking for it in the obvious place.
They're looking for it like it's got a spotlight on it going, oh. It's not going to be like that.
That's the way it should be. I mean, come on. Where's your spotlights in your house? Kimberly is here, 800-447-7234. What about your husband, Kimberly?
That I have found that if I set all of the ingredients out with the recipe on the counter, that eliminates all the questions.
But they ask you questions, didn't they, before you learned that trick?
Oh, yes.
I'm curious, when did you start doing this?
About a year or so. I don't have to do it when my husband makes tacos. He's an excellent taco maker.
That's because he wants tacos.
That's right.
Yeah.
Every night, if he could get it. And he does great with pancakes and bacon in the mornings, things like that. But when it comes to just a recipe that I have on the menu for us to have for the week, I have to set it out and put all the ingredients out on the counter so that I don't have to have any questions. I can just relax.
That's good, but you still have to do something.
But I like that she's preparing for it. So when it comes down to it, because she may be cleaning and picking up anyway, just go ahead and put the ingredient. Kimberly, I like the trick. I'm doing it.
See?
Or tip, I should say, not trick.
See, Liz is now influenced. Now, next time Joey needs something that is needed to be hammered in, he's got to go lay the hammer out the night before.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It comes down to this, 7:50 this morning.
Yep.
Apptastic, 7:50 this morning. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
Yeah, Valentine's is coming up on Sunday, and we can help you take care of it. Maybe you've forgotten, and you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? How about a heart-shaped nuggie tray?
That's chicken nuggets, by the way. She calls them nuggies. Just forgive her.
I like to throw some cutesy on some words. But anyway, the heart-shaped nuggie tray. You also will pick up a sweet His Radio Bluetooth speaker and a couple of marriage devotionals as well. One little prize package. And all you have to do is have the My His Radio app.
Download it for free. Google Play in the App Store. And here's what happens. At 7:50 this morning, the app will let you know this is the time to open the app and win Apptastic and all that stuff that Liz was just telling you about. And I promise you, it's not going to give you any cutesy stuff. I'm surprised that she hasn't cutesied the His Radio Bluetooth speaker like she's done with the nuggets.
Okay, the His Radio Bluetooth speaky. No, that's dumb.
That was horrible.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Ayandra, senior in high school, has given up her future for her mom. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. Senior in high school. Mom was injured about last year sometime, and so she said, listen, her mom did. She said, listen, Ayandra, go live with your aunt right now as I recover. Ayandra found out something that happened 3 months ago, and now Ayandra is giving up her future.
Yeah, her mom, she found out, had lost her job. And her mom wasn't telling the kids. Obviously, you know, as a mom or a dad, you try to protect those things and say, look, I can handle this. And she wasn't kind of asking for any help. Ayandra finds out about it. Well, she had savings for college. She was willing to give up that money to help mom catch up on the rent.
She did. She gave up the money, just not willing. She gave it up. And so mom's now caught up on the rent. So here's the thing. A GoFundMe page was put together for Ayandra so that she could have a future for college. Check this out. The goal was $75,000. I wish it was a $75,000. You're right there, just taking care of it. It's at $165K right now, as of this morning.
Yeah, unbelievable. People are still giving. Even as early as 20 minutes ago, people were still adding $10, $15 at a time.
Crazy cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's over 4,000 people that are giving right now.
Yeah.
To her future because she was willing to give that up for her mom.
Right. And maybe even she takes that money and can pass it down to a sister, another sibling to say, hey, now you're going to college.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
It's very possible when you go to sleep, you bring your phone with you. You have your device. You probably put in your earpods, your earbuds or something like that, maybe the wireless ones. And then when you wake up, they're lost somewhere in the bed. Yeah. They come out, right? So here's a gentleman, baby's crying at night. He's had a long day. He is exhausted. And so he thought, I'm just going to put in my earbuds and I'm going to listen to some stuff that'll help me go to sleep. He did. He woke up in the morning. He's like, I just don't really feel that good. And then he was drinking some water and the water just came right back out of his mouth. He's like, no way. They figured out he swallowed his earbud.
And he had no idea.
Didn't know. Swallowed his earbud. It was down, into his esophagus.
Right, sure.
And he had to go off to the emergency room.
And they're tiny when you're trying to keep up with them, but not when they're lodged in your body.
See, and he fell asleep. So somewhere along when he was sleeping, he just went.
He was like dreaming about candy.
Something like that. Or he's a big time snorer. When he was sucking in, they were going whoop. Just kind of went right on in there.
I've lost earrings like while I've been sleeping and that kind of thing. I've never swallowed. My earrings are way too big
to
swallow.
You have.
If I have one of my earrings in there, there's an issue.
I'm sure.
Maybe that explains a lot, but
I'm sure. So anyway, they did surgery on the guy. They were able to get it out. So he's fine. And one thing that they said was that the battery must have went dead in it because if that thing would have still been charged, it could have been a lot worse.
He shorted it out when he drank the water.
It's like.
Oh, that tingled.
It did. Yeah, it's like, woo.
I felt like I needed a burp, but no.
No, it's not a burp.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. And that they could track it down. And so he had to buy some new AirPods, I guess.
Yeah. I think that still works. You just dry it off, put it in a bag of rice.
At one point, this was in my esophagus.
I put it back into my ear.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So there's this dude, goes to sleep with his earbuds in his ear.
Right.
Wake up, one's missing. Turns out he swallowed it. Had to go to the ER. They got it out.
Tina texted and said, I'm just trying to figure out how it got from his ear to his mouth.
Yeah, right?
Maybe he turned his head in the middle of the night like you know, or saying he maybe snored it back into his mouth.
Goes right in there,
How do you
right?
not choke? Like, I can't take an
It
aspirin.
was a
that's too
smooth
big.
swallow.
I guess.
It's just boom, you know?
Oh,
It's like when
gross.
you swallow something whole. This one just didn't digest.
No.
Thankfully. It's Rob and Liz, His Radio, 800-447-7234. Hey, Lynette, you said something similar happened?
So when my son was very small, he was sitting in my lap, and I was reading to him. I had a habit of pushing my wedding ring up and down on my finger, and he took it off my finger and put it in his mouth.
Get out.
And before I could do anything, he would just gulp, and it was gone. So, of course, I panicked, felt like the worst mother ever, took him to the emergency room. They did x-rays and said, well, it's in his stomach, so it's going to be okay. So for the next 2 or 3 days, I had to do a treasure hunt.
No.
Yes, it finally resurfaced. And so now every time I look at it, I just think, you have traveled the world.
I love how you say it resurfaced.
Yes.
His morning crew.
So what's your relationship like with your Uber Eats driver? It's Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His Radio. This is crazy.
This is crazy. This happened in London. This girl, she had ordered from Uber Eats, and, you know, she's waiting on her food, and she's probably like, oh, I am so hungry. When's my food going to get here? And then she got a text, and it said, sorry, love, I ate your food.
Seriously. Real thing.
The Uber driver ate her food. Whatever she ordered must have been just delicious, and he's smelling it.
Not just that, but they still charged the lady for the food.
Well, because...
And wanted a tip.
Right, because they didn't realize. They even said your food's been delivered.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait a minute, what now?
That's so crazy.
Yeah, but she got in touch with them and told them what happened, and they did replace her food. Evidently, they sent it with a different driver.
Yeah, hello. Somebody who eats your food like that. You know what? This looks good. I'm just going to eat it and not deliver it. And then I want my tip still. Come on, right?
Well, how many of us have not gone through a drive-thru and said, oh, those fries smell so good, and you've ordered it for somebody else, and you're like,
Yeah, you take one or two for you.
exactly.
Well, that's payment. That's your tip.
for picking it up. Maybe that's what he thought. But, you know, that happened to me one time. I ordered from DoorDash a couple months ago, and it was just me and my youngest son at home. They delivered it to a neighbor. We still don't know who got it.
Yeah, and the neighbor must have eaten it,
They
right?
must have. I mean, I got in touch with DoorDash and said, hello. And they did send it. They, replaced it. But whoever it was got a steak and some chicken tenders.
Yeah.
His morning crew.
They're getting ready to mess up the Wizard of Oz.
What?
Why even touch the classic Wizard of Oz? They're coming out with, they're going to give it, here's what they said in New Line Cinema. We have a fresh take on the Land of Oz.
That's not always a good thing.
No, it's not. Don't mess up the classic. Leave the classic alone. Let us enjoy the classic. Don't mess it up. That's my opinion. Maybe you have a different opinion, but that's okay.
I just don't know how you improve on a classic like that. I mean, I remember waiting. You would have to wait all year to watch it. Now you can watch it. You can stream it.
Whenever you want,
right. Yeah. But when most people were kids, that's what we had to do was wait an entire year to see it. And I always felt like it was around the holidays. But Judy Garland... You got the Scarecrow. You got Toto. Come on.
It's a classic. I mean, don't touch it. Leave it alone.
But they've tried it a couple of times. They had what was it, Oz the Great and Powerful? Like James Franco was in it. It was not
I
good.
don't even know it.
Yeah.
See, that's why you don't touch it.
Right. It was a flop. I mean, it was beautiful to watch, but it just wasn't
Really?
great. Yeah, like
if it was a flop, was it really?
No, beautiful as in the scenery, the imagery, and that kind of thing was beautiful the way that they filmed it, I guess. But the storyline had so many plot holes, and it was not good.
Did they even have the Tin Man? And
I think so. I can't remember, as a matter of fact.
And they won't look the same.
No, not at all. And the sounds, the songs will be different. You got to learn a new way to sing. I don't know.
The Oompa Loompa?
Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, see?
Doopity-doo.
Oh, I'm sorry I started that.
That
no,
is
she's
fun.
going to be going all day with an earworm on that one.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
Just when you thought that Popeyes, maybe that's your favorite drive-thru, I don't know, was just finished on creating stuff, oh, they now have fish. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. Fish.
It's a little pricey, too. I'm wondering, is it mahi? Like, is it something really?
No, it's flounder.
I know, but it's like almost $5. What, $4.49 for the fish sandwich? And you can buy insurance.
Isn't that crazy? I saw that and I went, wait a minute. What? You buy insurance from Popeyes, but what the insurance covers is if you don't like it, you get your money back. But the insurance is $15. So
is it?
Yeah.
No, 15 cents.
Oh, it's 15 cents.
15 cents, but still 15 cents.
For 15 cents, you want your money back if you don't like the sandwich.
Right.
What?
But I feel like maybe they should be like, if you don't like it, you know what? Return it. We'll replace it with the chicken sandwich, or you can have your money back. But that's just me. But fish at Popeye, I don't know.
Because they're chicken.
Right.
They do their chicken well.
Yeah.
They compete against the other place.
Yes.
So
I don't know. Would you try it?
No, because it's fried.
Yeah.
I don't eat the fried stuff.
And it's super fried, too. I mean, I will eat the fried stuff from time to time.
Now, tell me the name of this bun.
Brioche.
What is that?
So brioche it's a really rich, buttery kind of a bun. So to me, there's a lot of bread there.
There's not only a lot of carb bread, and then you
Yeah.
have the fried flounder that's on the thing.
And the butters.
Thing's got to be, 5,000 calories just to take one bite out of it?
Yeah. You know, now that I talk about it, it's actually starting to sound a little better.
Oh, it sounds great, huh?
Maybe I'm
guess
just
who's
hungry.
going to Popeyes and getting the insurance?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So Liz orders Girl Scout cookies, and they're DoorDashed or something to us this morning.
Not quite. I ordered them from a Girl Scout, friend of mine. Her daughter's Girl Scout. And so she's like, can I just deliver them to the station? Yes, of course you can.
Okay. Well, then there you go. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. And then Liz proceeds to say, and they came in time for Joey's birthday. That's her husband. So it's today.
Yes.
The birthday's today.
His birthday is today, and he loves the caramel delights. And so, don't tell him, but yeah.
The poor guy.
Why?
Well, it's birthday and Valentine's all at the same time. How do you balance that?
You know, it has been difficult, but I have to say he's not one to really get into Valentine's Day, and I'm okay with that. I get it.
Really?
Well, I would rather that, than just on one day he pours out the love, and shows these romantic things.
Well, she's told me before. You've said this before, that he is romantic.
He is. He's very thoughtful. He'll pick some flowers from our garden and, or put them in the car and that kind of thing. One Valentine's, he did give me a trip to Italy.
What?
Yes.
Joey,
did.
You're shaming the rest of us, Joey.
Well,
Stop it.
He knows how much I want to go to Europe. How much. I've been once, and it was like for a layover and this kind of thing. But I want to go so bad. So he gave it to me. We haven't been able to take the trip.
Why?
Well, there's been unrest, and flying. This was years ago.
In Italy?
No, well.
If this was years ago, you should have taken it by now.
Well, but then you have the pandemic, and then you have our kids were
that's
little.
that.
So
They're grown.
Not quite, but they were little when he
You
gave
go
it
to
to me.
high school senior and one out of high school.
I know.
You can go now.
I'm still Mama Bird. But it was about 6 or 7 years ago when he gave the trip. And we're still planning it. We are. We are still planning it. So let's get past the pandemic and then
Okay.
we'll go. And
We're going to have to just push them out the door and say, get on the plane and go to Italy on your trip.
Oh, I can't wait.
Are you sure he really got it for you?
No, he did. Like, it was so sweet. It really was. He's
You
very
saw
romantic.
the plane tickets and everything?
Oh, no, not like that. It was, here, we're going to plan. I'm the planner. Like, your wife, Amy, is the planner in your...
Oh, yeah.
when
I don't
it
have to
comes-
plan a thing.
No, like, he does. He usually picks where we're going to stay. He's much better at that than I am. We will stay in a dive if I
So it's not
pick
paid
it.
for yet?
No.
Huh. That gives me an idea.
Okay, but...
I can tell Amy, hey, Amy, we're going to Paris.
Yeah.
We can't go just yet because of a pandemic.
Right.
We're going to go to Paris. And then 6 years down the road, I still have to don't do it.
But listen,
Joey, you're the smartest guy. I mean,
he's going to do it because I know him. I know him, and he will.
Mm-hmm.
We just haven't gotten there yet. And then
Joey,
part
you're
of it's
smart,
on
man.
me.
You need to write a book for me.
Ooh.
Say you're going to go to Italy and never go.
Look,
That's great.
I will nag him until we go, so I know we're going to go.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, I know, Joey. He'll do it.
Yeah,
I'm just
he
teasing.
will.
Hey, okay, join the conversation if you would. 800-447-7234. Let's talk about the most memorable date that you've been on. Doesn't have to be Valentine's, although Valentine's coming up, so it might have been around that time. But what was it for you? Did your husband plan a trip you never followed through with?
Don't say that. No, we'll end up, listen, I know, Joey, we'll end up going this weekend.
Yeah. See? You're welcome.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
This may have happened to you if you're on a Zoom call. You know, something weird happens on a lot of Zoom calls.
Oh, yeah. It's like par for the course when you're on one of those.
So let's take a trip to the 394th Circuit Court in Texas.
Okay.
You got a high-powered judge,
Yeah.
a couple of high-powered lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
One lawyer, you may have seen this, has an interesting filter on. You just have to hear this.
I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
We're
a
trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but
It's hilarious.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
I can see that.
He's a cat. He has a
Not
cat.
a cat.
filter.
That is just so great. I love how he reacts to this.
We're trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
Can you hear me, Judge? He goes on.
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but.
Because when he's talking, he's like, I've got my assistant here. It's the cat's face.
Yes.
And the little mouth
The whole
is
time.
moving.
The eyes are hilarious.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I mean, I guess he had a good sense of humor, but when you can see he's like looking down to see what do I need to hit, and the cat's eyes go white.
If I understand correctly, his either kid or grandkid was on the Zoom and put that filter on, and the lawyer does not know how to turn it off. And he has an assistant trying to turn that thing off. And so here's a high-powered hearing. The judge is just having a blast with it, so he winds up posting it.
Oh,
It's great.
I have to say thanks to the grandkid or whoever did this because you have brought so much joy to people's lives.